Hey Stampers, I'm Meg from Loven Stamps and this is Maker Mornings with Meg, Tuesday edition. I have a project to share with you that features one of the stamp sets from the annual book here, the Happiness Abounds stamp set. Because if you don't have this set yet, this is the perfect time to get it. November 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, so 15th through the 18th is a Stampin' Up! Seasonal sale, which is a little bit like Black Friday early. So you are going to want to take advantage of that. So Happiness Abounds is a stamp set we're going to use. It has a coordinating die set here called Blossomy Happiness Dies, and it coordinates with the Designer Series paper, of which I have some random pieces here. I'm going to show you more as we do our video, but it is the Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper, and all of the pieces, even the embossing folder we're going to use, the painted texture embossing folder, are all on the seasonal sale. So with that, let us get started here. And the link will be in the video description for all the supplies for these things at the sale prices, as long as you order them between November 15th and 18th. So let's get our camera switched down and we will get started. All right, so like I said, our pieces here are the featured from the Hues of Happiness stamps or suite, and I have a fun fold to share with you. And this card is based on one that I got from Jill Olson, who's a fabulous demonstrator, and so I'm excited to share this fun fold layout with you. So I'm starting with a piece of cardstock. It is 4 1/4 inches by 9 1/2 inches, and it is scored over at 5 1/2, so kind of where the halfway point would be. And then what I did was take this card front and I scored from the tip top to the bottom corner so that this would fold on a diagonal and it's going to stand up like this, okay? So kind of just like that. So now that we have our card base sorted out, let's figure out the pieces that are gonna go on here. I have a piece of basic white cardstock that is 4 by 4 inches. It's gonna fit kind of on what's gonna be the inside. I have a piece of the gorgeous Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper that is 4 inches by 1 where's my ruler? 1 1/2, and it is going to tuck here on the side. And then I have this piece here, which is 3 3/4 inches wide by 4 inches tall, and it is going to fit here on the front of our card like so, okay? But the cool part about this is the Happiness Abounds stamp set and how it coordinates with the dies here that are included in the bundle, and the way they coordinate with the Designer Series paper. So the Designer Series paper has these sort of rainbow Hues of Happiness sheets. They come in, I have mine all kind of chopped up into small pieces here, but they come in different colors, and the stamps are the same shape, here you go, as the dies, which means that you can use the dies to cut out the stamps, or you can also use the dies to cut out the paper. So I've done this ahead here with our flowers here from the purples sheet. And so what I did was take my die, line it up here, I cut it. Here's what it looks like if you are for cutting out fresh. And what I always recommend is just keep turning until you figure out where the die matches up. Eventually, it will be a perfect fit. There it is. And then you can run that through your die cut machine and you will get, ta-da, a perfectly colored and beautifully cut out flower. So you don't have to do any coloring at all for this. And you can see that all of the large blooms here, as well as the leaves, are coordinated. So here is a floor or leaf that I cut out from this. And then also the smaller flowers too, the smaller blooms also match. So here is another one that is cut. It matches like this one right here. So it's the lighter purple of these. Now, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, Meg, but you're wasting all those florals on the edge, remember that you can also die cut those, and then I would just pop them like on the edge of a card here so that you're still using those pieces. So one of the great tips that was reiterated, I've talked about it before, but in Indianapolis this past weekend when we were in at the Onstage, the Stampin' Up! Onstage event. All right, so let's get stamping. I'm gonna pull out just one ink pad for this card, and you could, of course, coordinate it with any of the colors that are involved in the paper, but I'm gonna go with Gorgeous Grape here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start stamping some pieces. Now in the stamp set, you would normally order the Happiness Abounds stamps and dies together as a bundle because that would give you the bundle discount price. But between November 15th and 18th, you're going to order them separately. You're going to order the stamps and the dies as separate numbers because you want to get the 20% discount on, or 15% discount on stamps from the annual catalog and 20% discount on the dies, okay? As well as the designer series paper is also at 20% discount. You're just gonna wanna go shop the sale, okay? So let's go ahead and get our stamps out. I've got my large floral here, and I'm going to make this card a birthday card, I think. So I'm gonna use my beautiful happy birthday script and then wishing you all the happiness you can imagine, which is a wonderful greeting to add to this. So let's go ahead and stamp our greeting first. It's going to go in the bottom corner here because we want this to show when our card is open, okay? And then I'm gonna take our floral and I'm gonna bring in a piece of scrap grid paper here because I wanna make sure that we're not stamping on my background. And I'm gonna pop one of these flowers down here, and then I'm gonna pop the other flower way up here because we're gonna be putting on our little designer series paper flower in that space there. So once we've got this stamped, remember you always wanna stamp first and then go ahead and stick things down just in case you have a little error. And I want to show you another gorgeous, gorgeous card with this stamp set that I actually got in the mail the other day because yesterday was my birthday. And so the amazing stamper Tammy Hewitt sent me a card with a stamp set that I want to show you. So let me grab that. And this is Tammy's gorgeous card here. Oop, I just knocked a piece off. There we go. This is Tammy's gorgeous card. Isn't that pretty? So she actually did the stamping of this and then some really fantastic coloring to go with it. Stampin' Blends in layered colors and so forth. So you can use it this way where I am no coloring at all. You can use it this way to die cut the flowers out of the paper, or you can do like this and you can full on color all the amazing parts of that. So impressed with that gorgeousness. And it is like the favorite stamp set because my friend Elaine Shader sent me a card with this stamp set also. And she used it either just even another way. So she stamped it in Versamark ink and then embossed it with white on colored cardstock and then die cut those images, which gives you another way to use this. And this die cut in the background here is absolutely fantastic. Die cut, textured die cut. And I have shown projects with this before as part of Maker Mornings with Meg, so you can look those ideas up too. Lots and lots of good ideas for this. Okay, so let's come back to our card. We've got our layers there, and we're gonna come back to the front. I'm gonna go ahead and layer this designer series paper here. Now, for some reason, I think because I put it in my bag to take with me, I can't find my Seal Plus. So I have my trusty tear tape. And I'm gonna go ahead and pop this down on here. Now I saw some demonstrators using a cool trick this weekend. I usually just say push down harder to get the backing up, but I saw this cool trick with the paper snips. I don't know if you have nails, like dimensional nails, you might find this easier. So the demonstrators were just kind of popping their snips up underneath and peeling the edge. So I guess I'm not super great at it, but you might try it if you have trouble peeling with your fingernails. So it seems to work pretty well. And then I am going to go ahead and put this down here. Now, I didn't put the adhesive on the designer series paper because I wanted to make sure that I only contacted that bottom panel because this is going to turn up like so on our card, okay? Now we need a little stopper for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this paper here, this flower as our stopper. I'm gonna put 2 dimensionals on the back of it, which I know you're like, whoa, Meg, way to splurge on dimensionals. You don't usually use that many, but I don't want it to, when this card is sitting on someone's kitchen counter or mantle or, desk or something, I don't want it to shift. So I'm gonna go ahead and place that so that it is a stopper. See how it kind of holds that corner up, and bonus, very pretty back of our Hues of Happiness designer paper. So our card is gonna close like this. And I love that the flower is like a little hint there. And then when it opens, it just tucks in and holds like that. Now, I like gave away the inside of the card. Now we need to come back to the front of our card. And I want to place our flower on here, but you can see that this is an extremely busy place to be. And so we're gonna need to do some fixing on that to give it a little bit more of a focal point. I saw so many of you at Indianapolis demonstrator on stage, like little mini demonstrator convention. And it was so much fun to hear from everybody who likes Maker Mornings with Meg. So yay! Thank you guys for saying hi this past weekend. So one of the things that people said was they loved the talk when I talk about focal points and things like that. I'm gonna go ahead and trim the sides of this. I don't want it to be too fussy because I don't want it to distract from our pieces here, but I do want to kind of show you how this is going to go together. So I want this here like so, but I feel like if we had a darker color field to really go behind this flower, then it would be a lot easier to see. So I've got a piece of Gorgeous Grape cardstock, and I could slide this whole piece under there, but it really covers up a lot of our designer series paper there, so I don't really want to do that. So you guys know that my #1 favorite set of dies is, can you guys name it without me saying it? Stylish Shapes dies. And since dies are 20% off during the seasonal sale, this is the time to get either your first set of this dies or your second set of this dies. If you are like me and you like to make more than one of a card, it's so much faster to have 2 sets of dies of something like this where you just use it all the time. So I've got a circle here and I'm gonna go ahead and die cut this. And then after I die cut it, I wanted it to be just a little bit more interesting. So I could stamp some more flowers in the background. I could stamp some leaves. I wanted it to be a little more interesting, but not that interesting. So what I did was run it through my embossing folder here. And this is the painted texture embossing folder. So the embossing folders are also 20% off during the seasonal sale. So hopefully you guys can kind of see, I hope you can see that texture. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put our pieces together here on the on this nice Gorgeous Grape circle. Now, an easy way to attach these things is to just pinch them with your hand so that they stay where you have them pinched. And then I'm just gonna flip these dimensionals to the back. And then I had sort of some thoughts here, like, where do I want this? Do I want my greeting up here? Do I want my greeting down here at the bottom? And I finally decided that when the card is open, we still want to maintain our focal points. So if I put my greeting and stuff down here at the bottom, then it is keeping your eye still all in the same place and it's not confusing. So that is what I decided to go with. So let me peel these backgrounds off and I'm gonna pop this kind of up here towards the top. I don't wanna cover up all of our folder. And then this is gonna go on the bottom. Now, when I glue things to textured embossing folders, I always use a strong adhesive. Steel Plus would be great. Tear tape, also great. And I'm just gonna peel that backing off. Don't forget to try the scissor trick if you have trouble. But I'm just gonna go ahead and slide this on here like this. I don't wanna cover up my writing, but I do want to have that sort of, have some motion to it. So it's not just centered right there. It's a little bit off to the side, okay? Now we're gonna go ahead and pop some dimensionals on the back of this. And again, when there's texture on my element, I add a little bit more adhesive so that I make sure I get good contact. And I want this circle to be down here when my card is closed. So we have this little picot flower here. And then when our card is opened, ta-da, then we have a really fun stand-up just like that, okay? Now we clearly need some bling on this. So included in the suite are the Glossy Dots assortment, but you guys know you're not gonna order the suite number if you order this between November 15th and 18th. Now, if you're ordering after that, then just go ahead and order the suite collection for Hues of Happiness because it's just easy and you only need one number. But if you're ordering during the seasonal sale, you're gonna get the stamps and the dies and the paper. You're gonna get them all separate numbers so that you get the discount, okay? All right, so I'm gonna add a dot down there. I really like that these are set in groups of 3. I'm gonna put one more down here, a little bit lower. I don't want them on the same like plane, horizontally or vertically. I want them to be a little more scattered. And then I'm gonna take the last one here and pop it up like this by our flower. So just a little north, whoops. Okay, clearly I should be using my take your pick tool because I can't hold on to that. There we go. All right, and pop this here. Again, not in the same vertical line. Actually, I think I'm gonna move this one over. I like it better. Sometimes you can use your fingernail to run under there and you can still get those off. I like it better over here. There we go. So now we have like sort of a better little triangle there, which kind of emphasizes our greeting, okay? Anyway, you can use your fingernail to pry that up. The other thing you can do is you can use the spatula tip from your take your pick tool, and you can usually get your spatula underneath there to kind of separate the adhesive from the paper. So a great tool all around. Let's see, there we go. Get it back in. All right. So that is our very fun Hues of Happiness card with that great stand-up card layout. You've probably seen different ways that this sort of stand-up is done before. I really like this particular application of it because I like the shape of the finished card. So thank you to Jill Olson for kind of inspiring this one with a swap that she sent recently. You want to see her swap? Her swap is this one. It was a card that she made with the Florets designer series paper, Fitting Florets designer series paper, and stamps and so forth from that bundle that just came out. So I love that card. Now, the special that I told you about is good on stamps and dies and punches and folders and designer series paper from the annual catalog. So make sure you're looking at this book when you look for those things, and it's started today and it runs through the 18th. So make the most of that. Think about gifts you might have coming up. I think I've told you guys a few times that stylish shapes is my go-to, right? Everyone can use this die set or more than one, so I don't fret too much if someone's already got it. Really great for gift ideas, or think about your own stocking stuff. Feel free to stuff your own stocking with ideas. So hope you guys have some great ideas, that this is a card that you can easily make and adapt the layout for lots of different stamps, designer series paper, dies, and so forth. But if you don't have Hues of Happiness, definitely this is a great one to be looking at. So, all right, everybody, have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will be back with another set of projects to show you on Thursday. So happy stamping today, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye, guys.